What's going on, guys? You're here with another episode of Aim with Purpose. We have a special guest today in Tebow. He's a local music artist. Music artist. And today we're going to talk about the perseverance with making music and just the direction of AI and music and just get into his testimony. So without further ado, I'm about to get into the first question.
Let's run it.
Yeah, so, I mean, how have you been, Tebow? Tell us about yourself. What got you into music and whatnot?
Well, I've been cooling recently. You know, I've just been around here. I've been kind of moving a lot, traveling a lot because, you know,
you were
making
in
music
Egypt.
and shit.
Was it Egypt?
Yeah, I was in Egypt, but that was kind of like a little family thing.
You can hear
right?
me?
Just a little bit closer.
A
little bit closer. But,
yeah, you're good.
You know, I was in Egypt. Other than that, I went to New York. But I'm about to go to New York maybe in like 2 weeks. With my homie about to shoot in New York. So
these all business trips?
Kind of. The Egypt one was just like fam, but New York is like business, you know. We're shooting for music because, you know, we just not trying to shoot out here all the time. It kind of gets boring with B-roll shots and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, everything kind of looks the same.
Yeah, and especially if you want people to take you serious, you got to take yourself serious, you know what I'm saying?
Respect to that.
Facts.
And what do you say, like how I started music a little bit and stuff
just
like
what
that?
got you? Because you've been doing it for a long time. I feel like since I was like early high school, like sophomore year.
I was thinking that on the way over here, actually. Yeah,
I've been doing it for a second, bro.
I know. But I started because my cousin was making music, and I was helping him a little bit, and I was like engineering him and shit. And to this day, I can't lie, he's like really good, but he just doesn't make music that much, right? I drop hella music, so. And then ever since then, I just like music so much. So he put me on to everything. That I can't lie about. But yeah, ever since then, I've been making music. It wasn't that good in the beginning, but, you know, it gets there.
Baby steps. Same with this. Right. I mean, I'm trying to just get this better, and slowly I'm understanding more how this podcasting stuff works. And none of it's perfect, but I'm going to get there.
I feel like if you just keep, you know, working at something, at some point, you know, you just get better. You get better at it.
Yeah, it'll pop off.
Yeah. But you don't think it on the way. You kind of get, you know, discouraged. You be thinking like you're not getting better. But I don't know. Over the years, you'll look back and you'll be like, damn, it's better. You know.
Yeah.
Do you remember what year you started making music?
Well, I looked up when I like
dropped that song.
Well, not drop my song, but like bought Logic, right? And it was maybe like 2016, something like that.
Damn, that's almost 10 years, bro.
Is it close? Bit. Three more years.
3 more years. Yeah. 2.5.
You know what? I always thought like, if you want to be like really good at something, 10 years is like.
Oh.
Yeah. Or if you just want to like, especially if you want to try something that you really want to do, I feel like you shouldn't quit unless you've done it for like 10 years.
Oh yeah, mastery takes time.
Yeah.
So you can't rush the process about how good you're gonna get at something. I mean, unless you're just innately talented and gifted at it, you know, whether it's sports. But yeah, especially if it's a skill, you really see like exponential success over like that period of time because by 10 years in, there's probably nothing you haven't seen or you haven't tried to overcome or walk around, you know what I mean, in terms of obstacles.
Yeah. Like there's like so many obstacles on the way, but I mean, like the longer you do it, you start to, I don't know, you just start to realize that you get better at it. You know,
appreciate like what you've been through and appreciate your growth as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, most people, even with us, like it wasn't easy to start this podcast. You'd have a lot of fuck ups in the beginning, you know, a lot of technical difficulties, if you will.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just persevered just because of the love that we had and the vision that we knew where this could be.
Yeah, it's gotta
with you, you've been at it. I mean, almost a decade. That's double the time. Like triple the time of us.
You gotta love it to do it at least that long, right?
So like what? What were you saying?
You gotta like the whole idea of just like dropping the music has to be like I'm dropping it because I just want to get better and I just like the music. I like listening to it. You know, it's not about like, oh, how many numbers it's going to get and stuff like that. But music is just like, it's a tangible example for anybody who's doing anything that they want to do, you know. Music is just an example. It's just something I want to do. So, yeah.
And did you persevere just because of the love that you had for the music?
It's got to be the love.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't really get better at something in like a, I don't know, it's hard to say in like a creative way if you don't really love it, you know?
It's like a why factor, if you will.
Yeah, it's like the authenticity thing. I feel like I heard you say that. People know if it's authentic or not, you know?
Yeah, they can tell when you're bullshitting it.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're going to expose the fact whether or not you care enough to keep doing it
exactly.
or not. Like the obstacle come along the way.
Exactly.
You jump ship.
And there's long distance. Like people who want to do stuff for a long time or be great for a long time, like you know that they love it because of how high of a level they're doing it at.
Yeah, they got to show up every day and like it, regardless of the outcome that they get. The same thing
like,
with this.
It is work though. Like you're gonna like even for me to just go in the studio, like I'm not gonna lie, I dread it sometimes because I've been doing it for so long, right? But like the process of actually like being in it and then getting the results, sometimes you're just like, yeah, it's always worth it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
So with the like making the music, and how do you record weekly or monthly, or how's it work?
Bro, it's not
whenever.
Dude, it's not even weekly. It's way more than that. It's maybe like, it just depends. If I'm about to drop an album, which is my favorite thing.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah,
now that I think
my
about
album is my favorite thing to do because it's like when I get to be the most creative, you know. So that when I'm about to drop an album, I'll record like every 2 days, maybe every day.
Tough.
Yeah, just get into it. I mean, it's a home studio, so I feel like if you do have the means to do something at your crib, then it's the easiest, right? You can just get up and do it.
Yeah, you don't gotta pay to go to someone's place. You just walk into the thing and like lock in.
That's what helps with us as well. It's just literally sitting downstairs.
Yeah.
So it's just like we can literally record whenever we have free time, and someone else can actually come on and have free time. It's pretty easy to align.
That's actually a good thing, like to talk about too. Like honestly, I think it's way better to do stuff like independently in a sense, like kind of how I was talking about like at the crib, because like let's say I get someone to engineer me, right? I don't like, it's not gonna come out how I wanted it, you know?
Facts.
Yeah. So I'd rather have someone help me engineer and I'm sitting on the computer.
Yeah.
Hands on.
There's a part that for me it's like if I have, let's say, my desk in the same room that I sleep, for me like my brain will get too attached to the fact that this is the room that I sleep, not the room that I get work done.
It's a comfortability factor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm guessing your stew and that's in house. It's separate from the place that you lounge.
No.
Oh no, so you don't.
No.
It's
in my room. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's because of circumstance, because my fam and shit. But at the same time, I don't think I'd have it in a different place, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel you. Sometimes you just like, because it's your lounge area, you might just chill rather than doing it. But I feel like it's just it's the easiest because it's in your place.
Oh yeah, for sure. When I was living at my other apartment before I moved here, there was a situation where it was a 2-bedroom apartment and I was living in one of the rooms and one of the other rooms became vacant after a while. So I was like, oh shit. At first we were gonna put this in my room already, and it was gonna be tight between my bed, my desk, and then this whole setup. But situation happened and we were able to put this whole studio, everything you see here, into that one room, and it made it so like clear cut. Like as soon as I step in this room,
you understand
I'm
you're
like,
getting to business,
ready to work.
It's like it's like when you get to work type of thing. When you're driving to work, you don't think about work, but when I step in the building, I understand what I'm here for, and I'm gonna get that done so I can go do what I want to do afterwards, type of thing.
It's just kind of different for me because I can move the microphone anywhere.
Oh yeah. To each their own, for sure.
But
for me, I have to have that separation between what task I'm doing at the time, so I can really focus.
Yeah, I feel you. Especially if it's like a podcast. But you guys have a nice area.
So I've watched. I think it was one of the freestyle video you did. Yeah. And then I watched is it Selfridge or like
Selfridges?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That was the one I saw. I think it was like the past 6 months or so, was it? Or longer?
Yeah.
It was something like that. It was when I saw you on the timeline out of nowhere after a little bit of a hiatus. Yeah. It was a music video and the quality was like clear-cut difference than what you had in the past.
Yeah.
So what goes into like the creativity process of making your music videos?
So
because the song is gas. That's the type of music I listen to. I listen to lyrical rap. That's literally all I listen to. Like Coda the Friend, Joey Badass, people like with that, that.
I've been trying to I like lyrical rap so much, and that's like probably that's the reason why I started rapping, obviously. But I've been trying to get away from lyrical rap and trying to, because I just now I kind of just like melodies. I just rather listen to melodies.
And I fuck with those as well too.
Yeah. So I'd rather just do that, and in my opinion, trap has the best melodies because you're bumping your head to it most of the time, right? Because the beats are bumping. So that's what I've been trying to do recently. But in terms of videos, I gotta give it to my man's, because at first I didn't think he was that good. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think it was that good. I saw his edits, and I didn't think it was that good. But I saw like I saw the potential of how good it could be, right? So I linked with him, and we shot. And when he edited my video, it was like night and day. I was like so surprised. I was like, damn, what the hell? And like how like we were just talking about how like people get better. Like every time like he'll do a video for me, he'll get better. And like he actually cares about like regardless if the music is good, like he thinks the music is good, but he cares about the product and sending it back within a good time frame and shit like that. And like that's the shit that I care about, and that's why I keep working with him, you know. That's
super cool because it's kind of the same thing that we've done. We brought in my friend who works the Commanders. He's been a long time friend of mine.
Told me,
and it's the same sort of thing. Like I like the work that he does, and I want to invest in his skill set so that way not only he gets better, but he can bring his talents to South Beach. And now he helps us, you know, with our setup. And I mean, the quality goes up, like you said. It's all about investing in people. That
it's night and day difference as well. Like, obviously, we knew speaking for myself, I knew that he had something to offer, but I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know he could do that much for us.
Did you see
until the change afterwards. The views, everything just I felt more comfortable with what I was doing afterwards, and I didn't think him coming on would help me so much. So I do relate with that, and definitely
well, this looks professional. Like when I was peeping it on Instagram and the clips, especially like you guys are like tough with the reels. You should definitely get on the reels.
That's
like,
thanks to him and like especially him
reels,
as well.
Like,
He's the one that was editing before, and his even like him, the clear cut difference. He was always getting better with every single post.
Yeah, no. The edits are tough.
Appreciate that.
The one with the picture, the one with Terrence with the picture on the top.
Oh yeah,
is tough.
That was all him. Yeah.
Bro, and it's things like that where like it in hindsight, in terms of like what I have to do within Premiere to do that, it's so simple. But it's it's like that change of perspective. Like, oh wait, that would be just a little something that would make the quality go up. It's always like the little refineries.
Dude, you're actually so right, because like seeing a visual aspect of just the picture of him and Cheech and Chong, like
it made it way more like you laughed more. You felt like you were more involved in the story. And that's what like even when I was watching your music video a couple months back, I watched it once, came back because remember Matt Branson. He would send me the music. Like he was
tough.
Branson's a real one. So he sent me that. He was like, listen to this shit's tough. So I watched it. The quality was way better than something I saw, a year and a half to 2 years ago from you, like quarantine around time. And then I saw this and I was like, dude, it's like clear cut difference. Like I feel more involved and more engaged to watch the music video because the edits were smooth, all the audio was crisp and clear. Like it made me more involved to watch the music video.
Because like what I said, like if you start to really like, because I gotta put money into it obviously, but like if you start to care about what you're doing, I feel like more people are gonna care about like what you got going on, obviously, because they can see the difference, that's a little bit different from authenticity, but like it's just investing in yourself, to be honest, right?
And investing in the people around you too. That's the thing. It's I understand, not there's very few things that people will do for free because their time is their money to them. So it's like it's like I understand how important other people's time are because my time is very like delegated, but with that it's like I don't mind paying you for your time because I understand the value that you bring. So always
I have a hard time like because I be having a lot of free time. Because I work, but like I work from home. It's a little bit different. So I be having a hard time like like gauging people's time and stuff like that. That's something I gotta work on though for sure. Because I know people don't always have the time of day. To
well, that's the thing. That's the part where money comes into play because it's like, hey, okay, you come do this for me, and it's with the incentive in mind that it's free, but it's like they're more inclined to help you out regardless of who you are if you pay them even just
not even just money though, like it's just like you have to give them some type of exchange of energy for them to be more inclined to help you on the same like interest that you have. Like if you want it done as soon as possible, you kind of have to replicate the energy that you're asking for and give them back something in exchange type of thing.
Because money's not always like
available. Exactly. I got what you mean.
You can have like a trash song, but then like you want someone to let's say you got a trash song, but then you want someone to shoot the video for it, right? they're not gonna be like, if they don't like it, then they're not gonna have that
Facts.
really
Yeah.
fuck with it, right? So yeah, I feel you on that for sure.
So what is like the got a little bit sidetracked, not really, but the process of making the music video, and who really comes up with the ideas? Like, do you just come up and just be like, yo, I'm about to just record my song, or like just do the song, or do you have like do you get to say your 2 cents into like what happens in the video, where you guys record, stuff like that? Like, what is the process with that?
Yeah, so I shot with like a bunch of videographers in the past, like so many, and I'm not gonna say any names, but they're not really that involved, right? So then it just doesn't, like you said, the energy exchange. So like I might get excited because it's my music video, but I'm not really doing the most now that I look back, like in foresight, right? But now I kind of like I begin like Airbnb spaces, right? Like peer spaces to get different places. Like you saw the suffrages videos at like an apartment somewhere. So like
that shit was smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
was
we copping places, stuff like that. And anytime I'm like driving or something and I see just some scenery on the cut, I'm like, oh no, I gotta shoot there. I gotta shoot there. Yeah, for sure.
I understand that for sure.
Yeah. So, but then, like, we kind of both direct it, and then other than that, he edits it. I tell him like the kind of vibe, and he sends it, and then he's kind of like, is there anything you want to change? And that's never changed anything.
One thing I was gonna ask, because I'm curious, does the song, because you kind of brought it up about the vibe, does the song set the
tone
theme
for the video?
Always.
So the song sets the theme for the visuals that we see?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always beat first sets the vibe.
Okay.
And then vocals kind of have to match it a little bit.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily go into, like when you go to record a song, are you thinking far enough ahead to think about the music video, or you just going through recording the song and then think about the music video after?
So, because like I'm writing music, if you're writing a song, you might think it's so tough, and then when you go record it, it doesn't come out how you thought it comes out. So it's always when the song is done, if the song is really good by the end of it, then sometimes I'll just know like how good it is. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm shooting a video. I just send the song out. But when it comes to like vibes, I always said I wanted to say this in an interview, so I gotta say it. So like in like when I'm like making songs or anything, I kind of base like a song off of a color. Like always base a song off of a color, right? And so that's kind of how I go about the videos, the artwork, and everything of that sort.
That's some artist shit. That's some Picasso
that's
shit.
Tough, right? Yeah.
Did you figure that out over time, or did you like pick up inspiration from another artist?
Yeah, it's from different artists.
Okay.
It's from Kanye and Russ. They both kind of, I don't know, like I don't know, Russ's like artworks are all like different colors, so that symbolize a song, and I fuck with that so much. I always thought that like songs kind of like, I could like not see colors, but you kind of get what I'm saying, like the vibe of it, right?
Yeah, you understood.
Certain colors give off certain emotions and certain like my bad, I gotta call it certain
that's why like
vibes.
the cover art is red for like a song, you know?
Yeah.
And that's always how I go about cover art. And
I never really thought about that until now, because certain colors do make people think in a certain way and visualize things in a certain way. Kind of like the color red is like affiliated with like romantic.
Yeah.
Or it's affiliated with like evil, quote unquote. Some people just have different perspectives with each color.
Black and red, yeah.
Black and red, or just black in general. People just associate things with like different perspectives with different colors.
Yeah.
So I never really did think about that.
I don't know. It kind of gives it like a palette. So like if you're just like looking through all my discography and you just look through the cover art, like I care about that type of shit. So you'll see like a bunch of different like colors and random shit, and maybe you listen to the song and you're like, the beat kind of matches the color a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, that's how I go about.
It's like the same. Process. It's like a uniform all the way across in terms of where it comes from.
It's got to be like that for me, because for me, like let's say if I'm dropping an album, some songs on the album have to be like events in my eyes. You get what I'm saying? Like there has to be a reason why one of the songs stand out. Or that's what a hit is. You get what I'm saying? There has to be a reason in my head why the songs were important, or why are they even on the album? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, you've been making music for almost a decade now, coming up in 3 years.
Yes.
But along the process, have you learned anything about yourself that you really didn't understand before you started to make music? Kind of like different just like different emotions. Yeah, I mean, there's like different emotions you learned about yourself, or things you're more comfortable with, or just more confidence or charisma you've gained in the last couple of years. Because with myself and making the podcast, I'm more comfortable with sharing emotions. I think it took me a long way to learn how to actually express what I think. Yeah. But I feel like as time has gone on, I've become more comfortable and more intellectual to share emotional intelligence that I have inside of myself. So just with you, is there anything that you've acquired and learned about yourself in the last 7 years?
I feel like I've always kind of been like emotionally vulnerable in like, I don't know, like music or anything that I kind of do.
So we talked about you just persevering through music and what you've learned and just adding the charisma that, you know, came with making music. But, you know, throughout the years, because it's been almost a decade, what has music taught you about yourself that you didn't really, like you weren't really aware of beforehand?
Yeah. So one thing that kind of like subconsciously taught me was to keep my emotions kind of in check, because when you're doing something for a long time, maybe you want to like give up and, you know, shit like that, but you just keep going. And that's what it's taught me, to just keep going, even though when it does get like super tough and you don't want to keep going, you just got to keep going, you know?
So it taught you how to dedicate to something.
Exactly. Yeah. But for me, you know, you could get like, I say emotions because you could get like really mad. And I feel like, especially if you're making music, it's about emotions, right? So... yeah,
because people like to hear the emotion in music. Like some people make music and they're not as passionate as others. And my girlfriend brought this up the other day, but she was like, I like to hear like emotion in people's voices instead of hearing like that trap kind of music where people don't have as much emotion. They're just saying shit. But I mean, for me, making the podcast, I've learned about myself that I'm more intellectual than I give myself credit for. Yeah, and I became more comfortable in expressing the way I feel. So I feel like, you know, this podcast has helped me. It's like kind of like an outlet for me to control my emotions and an easier way to express them. Instead, I would just shut down before in the past.
Yeah, no, that's good. I feel you.
But nah, for real. You know what I wanted to bring up real quick? You know Lil Mabu?
Yeah.
That nigga's popping. That nigga's tough.
I see him. I see him.
That just came up to my them in my
reels,
mind.
like reels and shit.
His
right?
reels is tough. He's making music that's tough. Like,
who's that?
You know what it is the content.
It's this little white kid. He's
like New York, like the drill scene.
New York, and he literally talks about how he's like in
he's
class,
like,
he's a white kid,
like how he looks,
more emotion than everybody else, and like he really makes like his music's actually fucking tough. This dude listed pi in his song like 314, 5, whatever the numbers were, and he rhymed it, and then he was like, there was one bar he said like I blew this girl's back out on, and like I like blew this girl's back out, like he said like purple or something, like he said 2 colors that equaled red, and then he was don't let that go over your head. I was like, yo, it was tough.
I seen the Virgil bar he did too. I forgot what it was.
He's tough. Hopefully he blows up.
That's what it is about content, you know what I'm talking about, how like
he's controversial, at the same time he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing exactly.
Same thing with like Speed, like if you ever watched the YouTube
Speed definitely knows
he knows what he's doing. Like
I feel like that's what he knows.
He blew up so fast, and like that what he does isn't for everybody.
It's on purpose. It's not
for everyone, but like he does it, like he knows what he's doing,
which is smart.
He's so smart.
He really does the things that no one
wants to comfortably do on camera.
Yeah, bro, lighting a firework in your bedroom.
Nah, it's the sweet tart stuff he does is just crazy.
Oh, that too.
But it's like nobody does that, only behind closed doors. Like that shit you do in like middle school.
Yeah.
He's doing it as a grown ass man. It makes people.
But I think we were talking about like digital blueprint and like how some people like it. You know, like how he does like the fireworks like in the crib and like making it explode. Like I don't know if, you know, the average person would want to even be seen in that light. You know what I'm saying? But it depends. So there's some type of like compromises that you got to make, you know, in order
sacrifice.
To succeed. And you gotta find your way through like the content. Yeah,
he definitely he's doing it like, I mean, he's doing it for the clout, like Offset said, like do anything for clout. Like that's
streaming game's a little different because people can just donate, like.
But it makes bro. I saw this joke. I saw this thing and it was like a stream. Before we'll get on back on track, but it was like a streamer in public and the guy gave him $10. He was like, "Take my $10." He was like, "Nah, I don't want it." and try to give it to someone else, but someone used that like as like a like streamers get paid $10 through the shit they do normally, but they wouldn't take it in person. They only do it like online. It was like a big clip. Yeah. But so we talked about like mostly everything through the podcast besides this new upcoming album. So we didn't really speak on that. When's that coming out, and what do you have in store for that? What's new? What's popping? How's that been going the last couple weeks?
I'm about to shoot for the new album this upcoming weekend. We about to go to New York, shoot some videos. I think I said something about that. And album's supposed to come around like June or July. I'm like somewhat done with it, but like unlike my other albums before, I'm trying just like not to rush it. You know, I'm trying to like go back and revise it.
Rome not even just once.
It's like 5 times. You got to keep going back and revising it until you think it sounds like perfect or complete. Is at least what I'm doing for this album. You know, I'm trying to just make it like a big step from the last. You know, you just got to get better in anything you do. But I want to make like a big step. You know what I'm saying?
Is there anything different you want to do from your previous music compared to this upcoming album?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like different styles, different melody.
Well, more autotune. I don't really use autotune that much in the past. I didn't really use autotune, but I use autotune a little bit. But
swear,
more
really?
So like,
that's tough actually.
Yeah, but it's more so like vibe. I'm trying to go for like music that hits, that's sonically pleasing. You know, like I like compromise the lyrics a little bit just for the music to be better. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to focus more on the lyrics, but now I kind of care about, like I said, melody and like music and stuff like that.
That's what grows. That's what's.
But I care about both. I'll still rap. I think rap better than a majority of a lot of people. I'll say that for a fact. And I think I can do both. That's the thing. I want to do both. I want to do like vibey music because you need that. You need good music, but also you can rap. You know, because that's what rap is. What hip hop is. That's what I love. You know.
What actually got you into making music? Was it freestyles by chance? Or you just
maybe.
Because now I'm thinking about it, because like, I feel like a lot of people would freestyle with the homies or just whatever it was, and that got a lot of my friends into music, and they're not doing what you've been doing, which is persevering and actually staying to the plan and the blueprint you had.
Just keep going,
but like, bro, I know so many people that are actually talented as shit that can freestyle, but they don't go forward. Like my friend Julian Paz. Probably don't know him. He's a little younger than us, or younger than you, but he can like for real freestyle. Like he's nice. Like just Mike, he obviously makes the music, but him and Michael would freestyle.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Like it's easy to rap when you just have a beat playing on the outside, right? Yeah. And then when you have your earphones in and you got you're listening to your feedback. That's live. It's harder to rap, bro.
I agree. That's what we feel like.
It's like pressure. I don't even know what it is.
Like for example, me and Matt. Like obviously talk, like this is what the podcast is. We talk, we conversate with a lot of people for hours on end. Yeah. But once we put these headphones on, we heard ourselves back. We were like, yo, this is kind of weird. This is way harder than we thought, right? Because we've practiced for weeks on end.
It sounds easy though.
But when we put that camera right there, that shit was not as easy as a thought for both of us, for sure. And I'm not just speaking for not speaking for Matt, but myself too. It wasn't as easy as people make it seem, and it definitely is weird because you feel like the internal pressure, like to make it what you want it to be. So was when you hear yourself back, you kind of critique every single little thing.
And the goal was to act as if it's not there, but like in your brain you're like, damn bro, it's on. And so like you kind of get like this you kind of get the sense of like urgency, and you want it to be perfect even though you know you're going to go back and tweak it if it needs to be tweaked, or just chop it all together if it's not what you want it to be.
I think like organic is the best, because even if you do slip up, but it's organic, I feel like it's a little bit calm, you know, rather than being like, you know.
Do you ever catch yourself like when you're making a song, or I guess for this example you're working on this next album, do you get too hypercritical, or do you have a goal before you go into it? Because for me, like when it comes to these episodes and I'm editing them, I'll listen back to it, and it's like for whatever reason I'll feel like it's never good enough no matter how much editing I put into it. I'm always like changing it even though it doesn't need to be changed.
You're hypercritical.
Hypercritical.
It's maybe a little different, because for music, like I can make a song and it can be terrible, and then I can make another song and it can be really good, but the whole, like when I finish making a song, I know it's a good song when it sounds good. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
When I bump into it because it actually sounds good, you know what I'm saying? Rather than I'm forcing myself to like this a little bit. Am I forcing myself to like this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Because I could see, or I could imagine, like, here's a case where, like, you're narrowing it down to, like, oh, I don't like that, like, drop at that point, so you
Yeah.
want to, like, move it over, but then at the end of the day, like, it
Yeah.
just sounded just the exact same, or, like, a
Yeah.
little bit different. Like you said, Zay,
You gotta be
hyper-analytical,
meticulous,
hypercritical.
though. You gotta be meticulous, because if you think of something and you don't try to do it, you never know how it's gonna sound until you try to do it.
Yeah.
And it
Trial
might
and
turn
error.
out better. Yeah. So
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, when you're hypercritical of yourself, sometimes it just ends up worse than you wanted it to be.
You'd be stuck.
yeah.
Yeah, like for me, I'm like, when I train my classes at work,
Mhm.
I'll be hypercritical of my handwriting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck. As long as you can read that shit.
No,
At the end of
I
the day,
know.
the first week I was like, oh man, it's not big enough. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not this. After week 2 or 3, I was like, bro, y'all can read it?
Mhm.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you gotta go on to the next thing.
Because at the end of
Yeah.
the day,
Yeah.
it's everything's gonna like you talked about, it's gonna organically flow better. And it's just, I feel like the natural way is better than something that's forced.
Exactly.
Natural trial
It's
and
just
error.
like-
Always.
It's
Yeah.
just like kind of like an attraction type of thing. Like instead of
Yeah.
chasing it, you
You can
attract
still
it.
plan. You can still plan stuff, for higher like quality, but
There's
I
just some things that come naturally.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit's
yeah.
supposed to come natural.
Yeah, I think the natural is still better sometimes.
Facts,
yeah,
though.
for sure.
But I mean, we talked about a lot of things. Just to wrap
Yes,
up the
sir.
episode, I wanted to ask, do you have any like future advice for musicians like yourself that like just something that helped you
Yeah.
along this path and journey that you've been taking? Is there anything that you would want to share with people?
I'd probably say like any like creative ideas that you have, like it might not sound good right now, but you keep working at it and it'll sound exactly like, at least especially in music, like you're saying, it'll sound exactly like how you're thinking it sounds like in your head, like later on. But it'll keep like molding to sound exactly like how you want it to sound like. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At first it won't. You get what I'm saying? Like it doesn't sound anything like the model you had for the song in your head, but 100 songs later, it's gonna be better. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think people,
Just keep
because
going.
obviously I wouldn't say everybody wants to be a rapper, but there's a lot of people that think that what goes into it and what they see in terms of like the highest, like the highs of rap, the biggest artists, they think that that's something they can achieve. But it sounds like the emphasis is on the creativity, because it is not necessarily saturated, but like it's kind of like going to the league. Like only a few % actually make it to the point where we see them on the big scale.
And it's because you never know whether you will make it or you won't make it. No matter how much promo you push, you know what I'm saying? It's all about like, it's just given. It's just given to whoever. So you either do it because you like it, and then that will keep you to keep doing it and keep getting better. My goal for making music is I want my music to sound as good as like Drake or like Russ or like Kanye, like sonically. That's all I care about.
So you set the bar as high as you possibly can, and then try and reach that every single
then
time.
I can hear my own music, and whether it's popular or not, it's still amazing.
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
matter what
quality.
anybody says.
Kind of like art, if you will. Like
Yeah.
you know that this
Yes,
art is on
exactly.
on competition with the people that are
Yeah.
famous, quote unquote, and you're not looking for the traffic more.
And
So you just want to
at
get
that point,
good
people
at your
can
stuff.
hate. People can hate on you at that point, but you already know. Like it's not even about the work; it's about the quality of the actual
Facts.
piece, right? Yeah. But the work put into it, people don't see. But
That's a good way
Yeah.
to put it, though. Like it is like art. Like you just want to keep your art at the top quality, and that you can accept it with.
yeah.
And you don't really
Yeah.
care if it sells or not, and you make money off of it. It's just you came to terms with.
Well, you got to look at the best and like go for the best, because I feel like if it's something like the main thing that you're doing, then I think you should always try to aim for at least your best, something like that.
You should aim with purpose. Yeah.
Cringy
Oh, yeah.
ass, nigga. Cringy ass. It's like, no.
That was a good insert there. Yeah.
Nah, but I appreciate you coming
Yes,
on,
sir.
bro. I was literally just thinking this like a minute ago. Like when I started this podcast, I did not think I'd have Tebow on my my pod.
I didn't
Like,
think this was.
I was talking to this
was
nigga when I was like a freshman in high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
At remember the breakfast tables in the morning before school?
No.
You'd be like
God,
me, you,
bro.
and some other niggas. I forgot
Yeah,
Adrian. Who was the other nigga?
Oh yeah, you
Light
just.
skin with the
Oh yeah,
bowl.
you can get breakfast and just talk for a
We'll
little
just
bit.
talk
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
little
yeah.
before school.
Yeah.
That was when I first for real started talking to you. But who would have thought like we would be sitting down on
I
this
know.
couch? I never knew who I would have on, but I knew that whoever would come on would be on the same like frequency and have the same energy as me, so everything will just naturally flow.
And last thing is, like as you say that, like you could just be sitting at the crib, right? And you won't know what you you won't experience stuff. But if you do go out and try to do all this other stuff, you're gonna experience stuff, but you're not gonna know what you're gonna experience, obviously. But it's gonna be crazy to you in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like it takes you places if you try to go for your goal.
You don't go anywhere unless you try.
We definitely like advise and emphasize the fact that people need to pursue their creative minds, because at the end of the day, that's your creativity is a gift, and that's what sets you apart from everybody else, along with your appearance. And
no
so
one can do what you do.
Exactly.
What you bring to the table, for sure.
Exactly. And so even in a market like this, there's a bunch of people that have a podcast, but at the end of the day, we understand no one has a podcast like us. And so if we tailor what we do, like if we would listen to it, then that's already a good start, because then we have we know who we want it to look like, not in the sense of copying.
And I feel like you guys have a main idea. That's like a
and we stick to it, because we understand the importance of what we talk about, and the like you said, the creative uniqueness of it. Just trying to push that forward.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming on again. We wrap it up. You got anything to say? Y'all cool?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
This has been a great episode.
How bad do you want it? So I appreciate everybody listening today. Without further ado, I wish y'all a good day, whatever it's morning or night. I just wish y'all the best. And without further ado, stay blessed.
Yeah, peace out, y'all. Aim with purpose.
Today with purpose, cringy ass nigga.